Good afternoon, Vinyl community. Good afternoon, VC. This is Justin, just for the record, 1974. I hope you're all doing well in the circumstances and all staying safe and well wherever you may hail from. All well and good here in Somerset in the UK. Touch wood. I just thought I'd do a quick update on some bits I picked up in the last few days. Obviously shops are reopening now, so one of my favourite local, well, one of the only local record shops in this area reopened this week, so I popped down there, and they're always very friendly and have some decent stuff, very well priced, and yeah, very nice people. And that's Clock Tower Records in Bridport in Dorset. If you're ever down that neck of the woods, pay a visit. There's loads of stuff in there. Good couple of hours spent having a wander in there, so that's always good. I'll start off with, I haven't bought much new stuff at all really recently. Just haven't, not a lot out. Obviously releases have been delayed and whatnot, and it's just been a funny year, I think, for new albums. There's been a few good, but few things, but nothing I bought on vinyl. I did pick one thing up recently. It's a new album by Pale Divine. These are new to me. They've been around for a while. I think US band, kind of doom, traditional heavy metal doom kind of thing. It's quite good. I've listened to it a couple of times and it's not really clicked with me yet, but I'm sure it will. But yeah, it's kind of Dio-y musically. Riffs are very reminiscent to me of Dio. Vocally not so much, but it's good. It's alright actually. And that's just on normal black wax, black vinyl. Couple of things I got, a couple of reissues I got online recently, which are nice. Been wanting to get this on vinyl for a while. The Zombies, Odyssey and Oracle, classic, late 60s psychedelic pop masterpiece. Such a great album. If you don't know it, then I recommend it wholeheartedly. Classic tunes. Obviously the most obvious one, Time of the Season, was a big hit. But they're all good. Not a duff track on here recently. Proper album, you know, from start to finish. Bloody brilliant. So I picked that one up. It's a nice one. This next one, again, similar era. The Byrds, Mr. Tambourine Man. This is the music on vinyl, 180 gram record. Lovely, actually, sounds great. Sounds really nice, so I was pleased with that. It's only like, I think £8 I paid for it online, which is great. So yeah, really pleased to get that one. One other online purchase. Really pleased to get this. Again, really good price actually for this. It's a reissue of Flaming Lips, Yoshimi Battles the Pink Robots. Probably the last Flaming Lips album I really enjoyed all the way through. Obviously Soft Bullet, and before that is a classic. But then I kind of, it became a bit patchy, and then just really weird. I mean, I know they're weird, but you know, just like unlistenably weird for me anyway. But this is quite cool. It's on a coloured vinyl, but actually sounds nice. It's a translucent red, which is rather attractive. I want to do a video soon of some of my more aesthetically pleasing albums in my collection. I've got quite a few kind of coloured vinyl, splatter vinyl, that kind of thing, which are quite nice. So I want to do like a video of those bits and bobs, so I'll do that at some point. Right, all this stuff I picked up recently in record shop in Bridport. As I say, there's a couple of like antique markets that sell vinyl, a couple of vendors there which are a bit hit and miss, but there's a couple of nice things actually which I struck quite lucky, so I got quite a lot last couple of days. This was at the weekend, last weekend. No, it wasn't. This week, because I've had the week off, so so I actually had a couple of hours away from my beloved children. Mother-in-law came over and sat with them, which was lovely of her to do that. So I nipped out and popped down and had a quick rummage, so to speak. And I've missed obviously doing the old vinyl flicking. It's nice, therapeutic. I think it's good for the mind, body, and soul. I think you'll find you're the same, I'm sure. So really pleased with this first one. This is brilliant. I haven't had this in vinyl for years. I did used to have it, and it was never one of my favourite albums by this artist. But having played it, it brought back so many brilliant memories, and it is a great album actually. But it was the first UK press, Man of War, Sign of the Hammer. Such a good album. Just brought back memories of me and a couple of mates in my bedroom, air guitaring, not in our loincloths. I have to say, we didn't go that far. We loved Man of War, but you know, there were limits. There was a line we weren't willing to cross, frankly. This is cool, nice condition. It's as I say, I think first pressing. It's on Virgin. I presume it was a 10th anniversary. So that's on like a custom Virgin label, which I'm sure was around at the time. Original inner sleeve with the lyrics. Great lyrics they are too. All men play on 10. Great. That was ridiculously priced, like £5 or something. I was like, well, chuffed. This next record is in a section I should call Every Home Should Have One. Of course, AC/DC Back in Black. Classic. Not a lot to be said about the music, everyone knows this album. But really pleased to pick this up. First press UK. Yeah, nice nick. Really, really well priced. Really well priced, so very pleased with that. A few other bits of rock and metal. This is a Canadian pressing. Judas Priest, Sin After Sin. Not really familiar with this one. Judas Priest, in my last video I mentioned the Black Sabbath kind of leave me a bit cold, so, some of it. And Judas Priest I find is the same. I like Painkiller as an album, but I think that's really the only one I've really got into as an album. But I thought I'd pick this up because again, this was a few quid, and it's really good condition. It's a Canadian, I believe, Canadian press, Columbia 6i, I think they call it. So that was nice. Again, this was at one of the antique markets, which normally the usual overpriced sort of old Queen records and stuff like that, but it's quite nice stuff. I'm going through a phase of picking, trying to collect, not all, but a lot of records that were produced. Sorry, the cat's just walked in. All right, that were produced in the year of my birth, which was 1992. No, I know you'd think that, obviously, but no, 1974 was when I was born. Unbelievable, I know, right? And I'm getting through them. I've got quite a lot. If you Google 1974 album releases, excuse me, I've convinced myself that actually it's the best year ever for rock and roll. There's just so many good albums that came out, and I picked up 3 that I didn't have just over the last couple of days. So the first one, Burn, Deep Purple. Probably one of the better later period Deep Purple records, I reckon. Covered Out and Glenn Hughes, obviously, sharing vocal duties on that one. Probably one of the worst album covers in the history of rock. It's just god awful. Whoever came up with that, it's just like, it must have cost about 50p to make that. Just make up a few candles. Rubbish. But Music Within, I should do one of those, like really great albums with crap album sleeves. Music Within is good. Very good stuff. Again, very nice nick, at a very reasonable price. Next up, Queen, Sheer Heart Attack, 1974. Again, Queen, I like Queen, but I'm not mad keen on Queen. Yeah, I like a lot of stuff, and I like this album. Actually, it's probably one of my favourite albums. I think they can be categorised as perhaps a singles band. I don't know. You'll probably disagree, and you're welcome to. I'm probably wrong because I'm not into them enough, but none of their albums seem to be without filler, in my opinion. Next up is All Killer, No Filler. And I was so pleased to pick this one up, and it was only 30 quid. And I think you'll find I got a right old bargain with that. So, ABBA, Waterloo. Have you heard of ABBA? Quite obscure Scandinavian death metal. I mean, look, you can tell, can't you? To be fair, this is one that was on the lower rungs of my list. Obviously, I'm not mad keen on ABBA, but I've started this quest, so I'm gonna have to finish it, aren't I? Really, but this was a couple of pound, and I thought, wow, just because I'm doing this stupid thing with my birth year, I'm gonna have to buy it. So here it is. But I haven't played it yet, so I'll reserve judgment until I have. This one I was really pleased about. Not that I'm like mega fan of the band or this album. Actually, I don't really know this album, but this was again in one of the antique marketplaces. Sorry, the glare is terrible. UK first press of Come Taste the Band by Deep Purple. Not one of their more critically acclaimed albums, I'm led to believe, but it's in beautiful condition, like really nice, and it was £5, which I think is sort of woefully underpriced really, but I was quite happy with that. Talking of underpriced, this one I was really chuffed about. Been looking for this for ages. Decent copy. Cure Disintegration. Great album. Again, first UK press. £5. The guy, this was actually in a bin that hadn't been priced yet. So I pulled out a few that I was interested in, and he said, I'll go away and price them up. I hadn't at that point looked at the vinyl. I thought I'd see what prices he was looking at, and I'd check out the condition. So brought it back, and he said it's £5. I said, okay. He said, yeah, the vinyl looks a bit nasty, so it would obviously be much more expensive. So I looked at it, and yeah, okay, it's quite a lot of marks, but I couldn't feel anything that would have majorly affected playback. So I bought it. I probably would have bought it anyway, you know, because the sleeve is immaculate, and you know, it looks nice hanging on the wall if nothing else. And for £5, why not? But it plays really well, really well. Hardly any major issues with playback. No major sort of clicks or pops or deep scratches or anything, and it plays back really nicely. So I was really pleased with that at that price. Next up, again, classic rock. Every home should have one. Free Fire and Water. Island Pink Rim. Probably VG Plus. And this was in a place in my hometown, about 10 minutes away from where I actually live. It's just new in. He stuck it in the bargain bin for £5. So I snapped that one up. Because again, it's just a classic that I haven't got on vinyl. I do own the CD. Pleased to get this one. This one is a few of my friends a few years ago. We did an album of the week club, and this one was picked by me, I think. And I'd not heard it before, and I have it on CD, and I really loved it. Dinosaur Jr. Farm. Double LP. Black wax. Black vinyl. great album, really great album. Just heavy, fuzzy, catchy as hell. And I said to myself then, I must get into more Dinosaur Jr., but I haven't. So that's the only album I really know there. If you have any suggestions, please mention them below and I'll give them a listen. Again, falling into the category of every home should have one, unless you're my other half and then she would like to see this destroyed on a bonfire, just because she can't stand any kind of jazz. But this really is the kind of more palatable end of the jazz spectrum, as you're all aware. Popped it on last night while she was doing some work in here, and I was just chilling out with a large glass of port. Oh yeah, that's how I roll. And I was really enjoying it, and she just looked at me like she wanted to kill me, which is hilarious, really. But this is nice. This again was £5, and it's a later pressing, a red CBS label, excellent condition. Again, worth every penny of your £5, really. Again, one of those albums I've had on CD for donkey's years, but never got around to buying on record. So chuffed at that. Next up, I don't know if you're familiar with Porcupine Tree, Stephen Wilson. I'm sure a lot of you are. Great progressive, modern progressive rock musician, legend. He's got a podcast on, which I listen to on Spotify, which picks a year and picks out the more obscure end of the albums for that year, which one's the best and whatnot. It's really good listen if you get a chance to have a listen to it. He does it with Tim Bowness from No Man, his colleague from No Man. So it's good listen. I only mention this because he brought this one up in conversation, not as one of their picks, but just as one of the albums that was released in 1976. And it's always one of those ones which you'll probably agree. You go to a record shop, and it's always there. And every pile of secondhand records, there seems to be a copy of this. And I've always bypassed it because I just think I'm not that keen on the guy's voice. I like the band he was in, but this was always supposed to be kind of bombastic to the point of being annoying. But Steve Wilson said he loved it. So I thought, well, I'll give it a go. John Anderson, Elias of Sun Hillow. I'm sure you've either got this in your collection or you're well aware of it and seen it in record shops every time you go out. But it was mega cheap, so I thought I'd pick it up and give it a whirl. I haven't listened to it yet. I'm looking forward to it. Again, one of the ones my other half probably will tell me to turn that crap off. She might be right, but I don't know yet, so I'll have a go. I'll report back. A couple more to go, and then we'll be there. This I was chuffed to pick up. I love the band, but I don't think their albums are a bit patchy. After music from Big Pink and the self-titled album, which are both classic, I think their albums are slightly patchy. Some great songs on all of them, but this has probably got my 3 all-time favourite band. Not band, as in, swearing or sexual content, but the band songs, being Ophelia, Acadian Driftwood, and It Makes No Difference. It's 3 perfect tunes, and it's actually a good album as well, but just pleased to pick that up for those. Again, dirt cheap. Don't see this one that often knocking about, so I was pleased to get that one. This was cool. Well, obviously you know what that is. Jimi Hendrix, Electric Ladyland. It's a later pressing, 1984, with the nudes cover. Nice nick. I paid a bit more for this one, but obviously to get an original pressing, it's just mortgage your house sort of thing, remortgage your house. Again, nice. It's a Polydor 1984 repress. Yeah, just great. So I'm pleased to get that in the collection on vinyl, particularly with the original sleeve, which is cool. And lastly, someone might be able to tell me some more about this, but I saw this and I bought it purely on the strength of the cover. And it's actually really cool. It's kind of jazz, fusion, prog. Yeah, just proggy, jazzy, Canterbury scene, sort of late 60s stuff. So you get what I mean, kind of a cross between Mahavishnu Orchestra and Soft Machine and something like that, but it's all instrumental. Band's called Sky Whale. The World at Mind's End. Just look at that sleeve. Like, you would buy that, wouldn't you? That's so cool. And the music is great. I think they were from Wales. I think they're a Welsh band. This was recorded not far from where I live. This is recorded in Bristol. So West Country band, West Country recorded. It's really good. But if anyone can tell me any more about this, that'd be great. But I was quite pleased to get that. That's it really. I did pick up some other bits, but nothing that I would sort of think of as being unusual or anything. So that was it. But not a lot of metal this time around, but I've got pretty much all the metal I really feel I sort of desire in my collection, but hopefully I'll pick up some other bits and bobs as time goes by. But hopefully that was of interest. Please feel free to leave any comments, and I'll hopefully get back to you soon with another video with some more of my collection, which I must sort of get out and show you what I've got. But yeah, take care everybody, stay well, and I'll hopefully see you soon. Cheers.